Hello, and this is Justin from Infendo. Welcome to my very first playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in Master Mode. I am playing this on the Nintendo Switch. And first of all, I would like to start by thanking everyone who helped make this possible. My co-hosts, our patrons, any of our sponsors. You make everything on Infendo possible, and especially this for me, so thank you. Again, this is the first time I've ever played in Master Mode.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal.
Sorry, the dialogue's a little distracting.
That will show you the way.
This is the first time I've ever played the Breath of the Wild in Master Mode, and I decided I really wanted to record it for everyone's enjoyment. I've played so much of Breath of the Wild in normal mode that I was beginning to feel overpowered. Nothing can stop me. And as fun as that is, it makes for a bit of a culture shock when you go back to the beginning of the game, which, again, this is the first time I've ever gone back to the beginning of the game. So this is a whole new experience for me.
Link.
It's my first time
You are the light.
Starting from the beginning.
Our light.
And it's
that
my
must
first
shine
time
upon Hyrule once again.
It's my first time starting from the beginning since,
Now go.
Last March when I first got it. And it is the first time I've played in Master Mode. So expect to see a lot of deaths, a lot of stupid mistakes, me struggling to, just do regular things, because this is going to be a bit of a culture shock. I love this opening shot. Sorry, I had to sit into it. First of all, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background to how I'm doing this. When I play games, it's usually after everybody else has gone to sleep. My fiance has trouble sleeping without me in bed with her. So she will usually fall asleep on the couch while I play games in the living room. And so I can't record my commentary live while I'm playing the game. So what I've done is I've recorded my footage and I'm playing it back and recording my commentary a couple of days later. Hopefully that works out for you. I noticed these rhino beetles. Rhino beetles? What are they? Hang on. It'll tell me in a second. Yeah, rhino beetles. Hey, look at that. All that time playing Animal Crossing. I noticed these rhino beetles on the trees, and I know that they can go for a lot of money later in the game when you actually get access to money. They're not good for much else that I know of. But I figured I may as well collect them now, and I can use them in a potion, which I don't normally make, but or I can sell them to Beetle or sell them to somebody else, which is mostly why I'm collecting all this stuff. I also figured I was going to need a lot of food because you take more damage in Master Mode. All of the enemies are upgraded one level from where they are in normal mode. So, yeah. I remember the first time... Well, I'll tell that story when I get to it later. Anyway, if you're okay with me recording my commentary after the fact, then great. I will keep doing it that way. If you would rather just watch me play without the commentary, just leave a comment in the... or just leave a message in the comments, and I will take that into account, and maybe I'll just stop recording altogether. I definitely don't plan on doing a commentary for the whole thing. What I will probably do is just stream the Great Plateau section, and then, post my little 30-second videos on Twitter after that. But, we'll see. Alright, so, anyway, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say right now, so I guess enjoy me kind of stumbling around. Pick up a few things here for beating up bad guys. I'll find out very soon that they're not very worthwhile.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Oh, I also chose to do this playthrough with the Pro HUD, which means there's no on-screen map, there's no on-screen temperature guide or any of that, which makes the experience a lot harder, because you can't predict, you have to go by all the other visual cues of whether you're going in the right direction and whether you need to put on warmer clothes or something like that. Again, just part of giving you a new experience. Also, the game looks gorgeous, and it's nice to play it without the HUD cluttering up the screen. In fact, I wish I could get rid of the little Triforce in the corner that shows that I'm playing it in master mode, but, you know, it is what it is. That first Korok that I got over there, I don't know what happened. It didn't trigger the diving animation. I think it's supposed to dive into the water when he goes off the ledge. I must have done something wrong there. So right now I'm kind of following the same path I followed the first time I played it. I considered going in a different direction, but I knew there were enemies around here, and I knew I wanted to get some experience fighting enemies on their own before I started encountering groups of them in the wild. So I've wandered over here to the Temple of Time to get a little practice beating up a few bad guys. Now I stopped right here. I ran past there and saw the way the light was shining through the window and onto the grass right there. And I had to stop and take a screenshot of it because it's just so beautiful. This whole world, this whole game is beautiful. And everything from the particle effects, the lighting effects, the cloud effects, the way everything is brightly colored. This game really married the more gritty, realistic Twilight Princess approach with the cartoony Wind Waker Skyward Sword approach in, I think, a perfect way. Oops. Work out quite the way I planned. The first time I ever encountered a blue bokoblin in normal mode, I think was my first death as well, so it's only fitting that that's how we meet my demise this time as well. So there we go. I'm about 10 minutes in, and that was my first death. The game seems to load faster on the Switch, but I've watched videos with side-by-side comparisons, and it actually doesn't. So I don't know. It must just be my imagination. But yeah, I mean, I thought the graphic style for this game perfect. It was realistic enough to, give you that kind of connection to the characters and the world, but it was cartoony and brightly colored enough to feel more like a Nintendo game. I don't know, there's just something about Twilight Princess that I was never a huge fan of the graphics of Twilight Princess. They looked good, especially in the HD Wii U version, but I don't know. To me, Zelda's cartoony. You know, the Link to the Past was cartoony. Looking back on Ocarina of Time, it was pretty cartoony. There we go. That's what I was aiming for last time. I have to get used to the controls. I couldn't remember how to switch weapons. Nope, that's not it. And we'll beat him up with a stick. Which is absolutely worthless, but no less worthless than the axe that I picked up. This is just tedious here. Luckily, at doing the dodge and flurry attack. So, Master Mode reminds me a bit of, what do they call it? Perfect Agent Mode in Perfect Dark for the N64, where the odds are just stacked against you multifold. In Perfect Dark, if you played on Perfect Agent Mode, your enemies did more damage. Their weapons were more accurate. They were smarter. They had more reaction time, and then they add to that that you took more damage. Your weapons were less accurate. You had more objectives to accomplish, more difficult objectives to accomplish. Like, everything was stacked against you to make it like pretty much life or death style of gameplay, and I never really liked that. This isn't quite as egregious, but I mean, all the enemies are stronger. And because and on top of the fact that they are stronger, like, they're leveled up. Like, normally you see the red bokoblins in this area with the occasional blue bokoblin. In Master Mode, all of the red ones are now blue, and all the blue ones are now brown. So, the enemies are already more difficult. And then, I'm not sure, but I think all the weapons are a little bit weaker. Not that they're weaker by number, but I seem to remember finding it easier to find swords in normal mode. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. It's been over a year. But I don't remember being limited to only tree branches and 4 hit point clubs in normal mode for quite so long. But I find a solution to that a little later on. But yeah, so the enemies are all stronger, and then on top of that, they get their health back after a while. So you really have to keep wailing on them in order to defeat them. It's a bit of a pain, but hopefully I'll get used to it and get stronger. And I think I just saw over here. Yep, there he is. There's the Lionel. Gotta remember how the buttons work here. But yeah, so there's a great plateau now. It's actually not where I expected to find him. I expected to find him over, actually more in the direction I'm walking in the woods over there. So I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but in the past about 10 seconds or so, there was a cut. My capture device will only record videos in increments of 2.1 gigabytes, which is about 45 minutes to an hour if you're recording in 720p. Outputs in 900p. The recording is in 1080p, which reduces the amount of record time. So every 20 minutes, give or take a few, I end up having to reset or I end up with a new recording file and have to have a break. So that isn't coming through in the stream. Hopefully you won't notice it. I certainly won't draw attention to it anymore, but I just wanted to let you know that if there was a weird cut in your video, that's why. So there's my second death, my second bokoblin, and my second death. Go figure. This is not going to be fun. I'm hoping that it gets a little bit more tolerable once you get off the Oh man, I'm all the way back here. I could have sworn there was actually something to do in the Temple of Time before you got all the shrines on the plateau, but apparently not. And apparently these are all empty because I collected the stuff already, and the game knows this. So if you hear music in the background, it's because my 4-year-old is watching Batman. Hopefully it's not audible, and hopefully if it is audible, it won't get hit with a copyright strike, because that would be annoying. But I've been telling him to be quiet. He is refusing to be quiet. One of these days I may just end up recording a gameplay video with my kids in the room, and just so you have my reaction and theirs. If you'd like to see that, again, leave a comment in the comments section telling me that you would like to watch a video of me playing Breath of the Wild or trying to be stealthy here. It does not seem to be working. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Okay, stay like that. God, what I wouldn't... Stuck up on the wall? I didn't notice that before. Yeah, it looks like there we go. I need to do that more often. Of course my club. That didn't work. And this is just ruining my club even faster. Oh, good. I mean, I know you can make potions out of it and stuff like that, but I don't do the potions or the elixirs or whatever they call them, because I prefer food. I mean, I don't always for something. I probably already have at least a couple hearts worth of damage, so it's nice to have something that does both. And there are many different ways that you can cook things that will give you a decent amount of health plus a status effect. Plus, once you get to the point in the game where you can start collecting dragon parts, okay, so funny story. I was telling you earlier about how my first death was to a blue bokoblin. It was actually in this spot. That was a good shot. The first time I played Breath of the Wild, I saw this skull rock thing and saw the lamps and tried to do what I just did there. And I took very careful aim and shot, and just on a complete fluke, I hit the string on the first, maybe second arrow. And it was this one right here that I can't get to fall down for some reason. But right underneath that lamp are a bunch of red explosive barrels. I think I was at the wrong angle. Maybe that's why it wouldn't break. Only have 4 arrows left. But yeah, I was so impressed. It was one of my favorite moments of the game, and it happened within probably the first hour I was playing it. There we go, last arrow, and damn it. Oh good. Now his thing is on fire. Alright, that didn't work out quite the way I had planned. And now I'm out of arrows. Let's try this again. Alright, it's kind of cheap going back to a previous game save, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? If at first you don't succeed, reload your last game save. I also noticed that Master Mode only saves one autosave. You know, like normal mode, you could go back 3 or 4 of them, so if you made a mistake a few minutes ago and need to reverse that, but Master Mode only gives you 1 manual save and 1 autosave, and that's it. So you really have to be careful. One thing I'm loving about playing this on the Switch as opposed to the Wii U is on the Wii U I played almost exclusively on the TV with the Pro Controller. And the Wii U Pro Controller didn't have motion controls, only in the gamepad. So, one thing I'm loving about playing it on the Switch is that the Pro Controller... Oh, great, they're already regenerating health. The Pro Controller has motion controls, so I can do some of those tilt function, tilt function aiming. Oh, God. That was close. Oh, good. There's 2 of them. That did not work at all. And there's one of those brown bokoblins that I was telling you about. Pardon me. Alright, screw those guys. I'm going over here. Oh, goody. I could use that meat, and there's only 2 of them. Maybe I can hit those explosive barrels? Or, I don't think it works unless the arrow's on fire. No, that did nothing. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish here. Oh, good, he saw me. And here they come. Meat, stay and fight. Meat, stay and fight. Oh, alright, we'll try it again. Again, I apologize if there's background noise right now. I will find a better way to record this for future entries. Maybe I'll just make my kid play on his tablet instead of watching TV. I think what I'm going to try to do, I don't know if the rock, that rock that's sitting there on the edge of the ruins over there, I don't know if the rock will blow up the explosive barrels. So what I'm going to try to do is go down here lure the bokoblins over to the explosive barrels, drop the rock on it, and hopefully they'll explode, and that will give me an advantage when fighting them. The big problem is, like, it's so hard to do the dodge and parry. Oh, one of them heard that. Get the other one. There we go. Alright. It's really hard to do the dodge and parry when you have two enemies. You can do it with one, but not two. Yes. Nope, come here. Come here. I must kill you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That'll work, I guess. Ah! Oh, good. He's throwing rocks. Stop that. Uh-oh. Please tell me I have food. Please tell me I have food. Please tell me I have food. I haven't cooked anything yet, so... Oh, eggs. That'll work. Oop. There we go. Waste that. Nice. Beautiful. Ah. Well, that's handy. Lose a heart, lose a heart. No, and now dead. Okay, so battling in Master Mode does not seem to be my strong suit. Hopefully, as the weapons get stronger, I will get better. Otherwise, I'm really going to have to work on upgrading my armor. I'm used to getting hit and it only taking away like half a heart. Oh, good. That's useful. Thank you. Thank you for setting me right next to the bed. Boink! Ah, run away! Run away! No! This diamond club away from me! Ah! Ooh, take that one. Ah! Alright, let's see if I can do this a little stealthier. Go. Yoink! And dodge the rock, and run away, and don't run towards them, and keep running, and keep running, and keep running. Alright, music's gone. I think that means I'm safe. Yeah, they went back to their thing there. Alright, uh-oh. Don't want a repeat of what I just went through. Where is... There it is. God, pardon me. God, it has been so long since I have seen most of these cutscenes. You know, the blue and orange color pattern is so freaking unique, especially when it comes to red There are no red goblins in Master Mode, so clearly that was rendered. the orange and blue color pattern actually reminds me of the movie Mortal Kombat. Used a lot of there's some of the floating platforms. The Mortal Kombat movie used a lot of blue orange contrast. You'll notice it particularly in the scene on Shang Tsung's ship near the beginning of the movie. Everything is covered in fog and everybody's lit with a bright blue light on one side and a bright orange light on the other side. And it's a weird, very thematically effective, but also awkward to look at color coordination. I'm not skipping any of these cutscenes. One, because I enjoy watching them.
For the past 100
Two,
years.
because I figure
The beast.
these are the cutscenes.
When the beast
that
regains its
you
true
can go
power,
back to
this world will face
later.
its end.
Yeah, because you can rewatch them anytime. Alright, spoiler warning. If you have not beat Breath of the Wild, go out, buy the game, play the hell out of it, enjoy it.
Now
The
then,
game, and then come back and listen to the
You
next,
must hurry,
couple
Link.
minutes of this commentary. But I was actually really disappointed in the Calamity
before
Ganon
it's
battle
too late.
because we saw so much footage of this spectral form of Ganon flying around the castle that I totally expected the final battle to be Link climbing up and around the castle, and this spectral form of Ganon flying around, and he has to shoot it with arrows and knock it out of the sky and then chase it and hit it with the Master Sword and all this. Like, I expected the actual battle to take place in the open world environment, and I was actually disappointed that it was what it was. It was certainly an exciting battle nonetheless, but I just find the spectral, monstrous form of Ganon to be far more interesting than what Calamity Ganon or even Dark Beast Ganon turned out to be. And I've heard that complaint echoed by a lot of other people who have played the game, that they were disappointed in the final battle and the whole end game sequence. But I mean, the 100 and some odd hours spent before it were also amazing, that even though it was anticlimactic to have the everything kind of end up the way it did, and not have an end game, not have an uncursed Hyrule Castle to explore. It was just, the rest of the world is just so amazing. The rest of the game is so amazing. I remember watching all the videos of people trying to get off the plateau without getting the paraglider, without doing all the shrines and stuff like that. And no matter how far they went, they always ended up just dying. There's the fog is instant death. It's similar to the fog in Lost Woods, where you just reach a certain point and it respawns you. So I'm gonna go do this shrine, and then I'll probably call it quits after that. Again, I'm gonna have to edit all this together and record my commentary later. Well, alright, I'm recording my commentary later, but that's just the point is, when I can record the commentary live while I'm playing it, then it won't be quite so much of a pain to do more. to do, playthroughs that are, maybe longer than an hour. But right now, I have to record all of it. I have to edit it all together. I have to add the commentary, and oh boy, I think I got away from him. That was close though. Anyway, yeah, so I've got to edit all this together and upload it. So it'll mostly be in small increments. And then, like I said, after I'm done with the Great Plateau, I'll probably just start playing it in handheld mode and sharing videos. Stop that. Oh god. Bye. Well, that was easy. I don't know why those things were trying to be such a threat. I guess because you can't see them coming, and they can attack you from above, but they seem pretty obvious. And, well, I think there's a treasure chest on that one. Yes, there is. Alright. Oh, those will be handy. It's so weird. First of all, seeing these tutorial screens pop up every time I collect something. And then, on top of that, having them show the Switch instead of a Wii U controller. And then on top of that, it's not even showing the Switch Pro controller, it's showing the Switch in handheld mode, which I'm currently not playing. This is all being recorded in docked mode, because I wanted it to be in 1080p or 900p or, whatever it is. I don't know if the game runs at 60 frames per second, but my capture device can only do, I think 30 frames per second. Let me check here. Yeah, 30 frames per second. I mean, it's locked at 30 frames per second, and I'm not noticing any, like, major issues with the video because of it, so it seems to be recording okay. But anyway, since I don't have a high frame rate, I wanted to at the very least have a high resolution. Normally, like, I played through the whole game on the Wii U 720p, so it wasn't a huge deal, but yeah, that's useful. Give me a ruby on the Great Plateau when I can't craft or color or do anything. I didn't actually mean to skip that cutscene. I wanted to watch those cutscenes. Once I learned how to skip those cutscenes going into the shrines, I started skipping them, but for the very, very last shrines, I had to watch it just to remember what it was like going back to the beginning. It's a weird thing that I have. I like creating that drama in my gameplay experience on the fly. So, you'll see me occasionally kind of swing the camera around dramatically or point it at something or point link at something. Even though it serves no gameplay purpose, it makes me feel like I'm more a part of the world or more a part of the storytelling. Alright, so I got Magnesis. I wonder, this has to be the first shrine that everybody goes to. I mean, it's the one that he directs you to, so that's probably why. I'm very curious. Tell me anybody who didn't go to this shrine first on their first exposure. Did you stumble onto a shrine before you ever did anything else? I'm curious, because there's as non-linear as this game is, there's a linearity of the opening that I feel like a lot of follow, especially first person. So, closer. Oh, shoot. Settle. 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 Perfect. Stay there. Good night. That was easier than I thought. Oh. Hey. Maybe I'll play some Rocket League after this is over. B. Schnazzy is an old friend of mine. Also one of our patrons. But he's been begging me to play Rocket League with him for months now. And when he's playing, I'm never available. When I'm available, he's going to bed. So definitely gonna make this shrine the last thing I do. I don't know if I'm gonna post a video of our Rocket League game. I mean, I already played them. Only one of them. Well, we did well in a couple of them. And then there was another one that was okay, but most of the rest of it was just. I honestly don't remember how I got this first time. I think it's a metal treasure chest and I just moved it, but I'm not playing this live, so I can go back and check. Yeah, we will. Okay. Well, I guess I could both. That'll come in handy. Once again, I'm watching all of these cutscenes because I haven't watched them in so long that it just brings back those memories. Alright, funny story, since I have a minute here before the video ends. Every time I played A Link to the Past as a kid, I would always actually, like, verbally say all the spoken dialogue, and I'd do voices and stuff like that. And this is just me as a kid playing in my living room and all that. And I even remember the voices that I used when I was a kid. And to this day, whenever I play A Link to the Past, I hear those voices in my head. So, watching these cutscenes kind of reminds me of that. My first spirit orb of the Master Quest. Oh, I'm going to be collecting a lot of these in the future. Alright, may the goddess smile upon you. And that's it. I'm gonna come out here and collect a couple things that I get with Magnesis, and then I'm done. So thank you for watching. I'm going to share the next 3 shrines and maybe a little bit of my time off of the Great Plateau, and then follow me on Twitter at InfendoJustin, where I'll be posting videos and screenshots of my experience playing through Master Mode. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I just really wanted to share videos of my gameplay experience, and the capture card helps with that, but also having the game on Switch does, because, you know, now that they have video capture built into the operating system, it's so easy to just, you know, hold the button for a second, then go back, edit, and post it. And you'll find I've done that a lot with Skyrim. And this is actually the game that got me into Skyrim. I never had an interest in any of the Elder Scrolls games other than, you know, oh, they're really popular, maybe I'll try them someday. After playing Breath of the Wild and hearing so many people compare it to Skyrim, which, I mean, it's very different, but it's also very similar. But that was when I decided, you know what, Skyrim's coming out on the Switch. I'm going to get it and try it. And thus far, I'm really liking it. Not as much as Breath of the Wild, but, like, if this is a 9 or a 10, then Skyrim is an 8 or a 9 respectively, so definitely worth looking into if you're looking for a game on the Switch. Talkity talkity talk 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 talk. Trying to get through this part quickly, but my mouth is dry, so I apologize if I sound yeah. Not that. Alright, let me grab this treasure chest. A couple of other things, and then call it quits. Ooh, goody amber. So many useless things in these treasure chests. I mean, they end up not being useless later in the game. Well, amber I never found a good use for. Those earrings. This is always fun. When I first discovered that I could do this, I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to break all my weapons trying to break these crates. Bam! One arrow. Alright, thanks for watching. Save and good night.